Trump Jerusalem protests live. Latest updates as Palestinians prepare day of rage. Protests have erupted in the Middle East after Donald Trump declared Jerusalem the official capital of Israel in a deeply contentious move. The top leader of Islamic militant group Hamas called for a fresh uprising to make the U.S. regret this decision amid fierce condemnation from international leaders. Moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to the Holy City threatens to reignite tensions in the Israel-Palestinian conflict and jeopardize future hopes for peace in the Middle East. In the hours after Mr. Trump's speech on Wednesday, protests broke out in the Middle East. Shops and schools in Jerusalem shut on Thursday as Palestinians called a general strike and marches were planned for midday. Live updates. Al-Qaeda slams Donald Trump's decision. Terrorist group Al-Qaeda has condemned Mr. Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital. It is also a clear challenge to the Muslim world that sees the centrality of the Palestinian cause, the group said. In the face of this serious events, we stand by our people in Palestine and support them with all we possess. Protesters burn effigy of Donald Trump. Supporters of Defy Pakistan Council, a coalition of right-wing Islamic parties, burn an effigy of the U.S. president during a protest in Quetta, Pakistan. Why Jerusalem has always been such a dangerous flashpoint. Hezbollah, recognizing Jerusalem as capital constituted aggression. Lebanon's militant group Hezbollah said President Trump's declaration was the worst and most dangerous decision ever from a U.S. administration. They denounced his move as aggression and said resistance was the only way to recover lost rights. Latest photos from the West Bank city of Bethlehem show Israeli officers launching tear gas at protesters. Hundreds of people rally in Pakistan. Huge crowds have dispersed peacefully after huge demonstrations in major cities including Karachi and Peshawar. Muslim-majority Pakistan has already reiterated its support for the Palestinians. Violence erupts in the West Bank. Hundreds of Palestinians are protesting in cities across the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Demonstrators are burning pictures of President Trump and Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu. International condemnation grows. Russia is set to criticize Donald Trump's stance on Jerusalem at the UN Security Council, the country's foreign minister has reportedly said. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron said, "I don't share in this decision, and I disapprove." He added the question of Jerusalem is a question of international security. The EU's foreign policy chief said the bloc believes the only realistic solution to the conflict between Israel and Palestine is based on two states and with Jerusalem as the capital of both. Taliban calls U.S. decision a reckless step. The Afghan Taliban said President Trump's decision will fan the flames of conflict in the whole world, especially the Middle East. A statement from the group said the U.S. has declared enmity toward Islam as well as support for policy of occupation and colonization of Muslim lands. In 3 days, clashes turn violent. Israeli forces have been deployed to the West Bank village of Batunia near Ramallah amid fears of violence in the region. Pictures from a protest in Jerusalem shows an Israeli border policeman scuffling with a protester, while another photo from the rally in Pakistan shows a wounded demonstrator being carried away on a stretcher. U.S. Secretary of State, Trump is just recognizing reality. The U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has, unsurprisingly, defended President Trump's decision. He said the U.S. would still support a two-state solution if both parties wanted it and Jerusalem's final status is still for Israelis and Palestinians to work out. Israeli police clash with protesters. A photo from the scene of a protest near Damascus Gate in Jerusalem's Old City shows Israeli policemen scuffle with a Palestinian man. Mayor of London blasts decision. Sadiq Khan backed the Pakistani government, condemning President Trump's actions as deliberately unhelpful and warned he had made peace in the Middle East less likely.